Kay is probably one of the healthiest characters I've ever played. She's someone who is really, she knows herself, she likes herself, she likes her life. She likes her relationship. It's flawed, but she loves her partner. She loves Kenny. It informed the way that we wanted to dress Kay and how Kay would look. You know, we like dyed my hair so that it seemed more kind of gold and lighter, and dressed me in a lot of golds because we just wanted to keep kind of um, putting out the sort of the subliminal message that like you already have gold. You have everything you need right here and right now with that woman. And so I think, that's who she is for him. I mean, I think that was something that really informed who this woman was to me. You know, her loyalty, her devotion, her not blind devotion, but her belief in him. You know, and simultaneously her acceptance if he doesn't live up to his dreams, if he doesn't accomplish all the things that he wants to accomplish, she still loves him. And so it's this Kay is this incredible person in Kenny's life because she loves him truly unconditionally. And therefore I think when he really loses himself, in pursuit of gold, he loses his way, he loses who he is, and he ultimately actually ends up losing the real gold, which is, Kay. A lot of the kind of the shooting style that Stephen Gagan adopted really supported Matthew's process. So it was long takes. We would get really into a scene and lose track of where the camera was. That's something that you really hope for as an actor. That's what you really aspire for, to be so present and to be so in a scene that you forget where the camera is. And it's very rare for something like that to happen. Working with Matthew McConaughey, that happens constantly. Constantly. Because he he is the world. Like Matthew would walk into a room and he'd be in costume and he'd have the teeth in and he's shaved his head and everything, and it's like, okay, we're in gold. This is Kenny Wells. We're in the bar. We're in the field. We're in wherever, but it's real. Yeah, I remember being a teenager and kind of like seeing him on set, and he's like this guy in his 20s, and I was like, oh my gosh, that man. And um and remembering how much my dad loved working with him and just what a cool guy he is. And so when I first signed on to do Gold, I wasn't, I didn't know that Matthew had gone through just this huge physical transformation. And so when I got to set, I was sort of expecting, the Adonis that Matthew McConaughey is, and instead was greeted by Kenny Wells, and it's so funny because just Matthew and Kenny as individuals are completely different. They're just completely different people. Even though Matthew was able to inhabit Kenny so well and so organically, I mean, it was kind of startling actually to see how different Matthew looked, and his and just even his energy was different during shooting. Kenny and Kay are incredibly complementary, probably because in many ways they're opposites. They have very different values, actually. Um, Kay is someone who values her relationships, who values her job, like the satisfaction she gets out of her job. She works at a bar, she works at a furniture store. She's proud of the work that she does. She loves the people she works with. But these are not fancy jobs. Whereas Kenny, on the other hand, he really wants to achieve everything, anything and everything. Kenny is a dreamer. He wants to be rich. He wants to be well known. He wants to be respected. He wants to be, a businessman who's working on par with, people on Wall Street. And, he's an entrepreneur. I mean, this is somebody who basically represents the American dream and pursues it without apologies, and loses a lot because of that. Whereas Kay, she's someone who, she loves the person she's with. She loves the relationship she has in life. And she feels genuinely fulfilled, as she should. So you start this movie and you think it's like, this kind of incredible character study, and it's you're just watching this guy who you hate and you love just do everything that he can to make his dreams come true. And then his dreams do come true. And then everything starts to fall apart. And then you realize really what this story is about. And that's what's incredible about this movie. I mean, you see things that you would never have expected. And this story goes on twists and turns that are absolutely wild. The thing that I love most about Gold is that really for me, the film is a love story. Now the movie is not. I don't want anyone to go in there thinking that they're about to see some meet cute thing. It's not. It's not a romantic comedy, but the romance between Kay and Kenny is just, it's so beautiful because it's so real. And it's, in movies you see a lot of love stories of people falling in love, what it takes for two people to come together. But you don't always see stories about what it takes for two people to stay together. Stephen Gagan, our director, is such a brilliant individual. He's obviously he's an extraordinary filmmaker, but I would hope a lot of people know this. I mean, he's truly one of the best writers in the business, and to have one of the greatest screenplay writers in Hollywood on set all the time, it's so exhilarating because in every single moment, if something's not quite working, you don't need to just figure out the line as written. You can, I was always able to go to Steven and say, listen, dude, I know you're our director, but like, tell me what to do, tell me what to say, and we'll just do whatever it takes to make this scene feel really, really real.